Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is the budget planner series episode 3. In the previous videos, this is the third video. In the two previous videos, we tracked our spending and we established our budget categories. We did all of that to help us do a budget, so that we've got all the information that we need, the data that we need to now do an effective budget. Because for sure everybody can do a budget, but an effective budget is a different story altogether. So this information, once one has it, established needs and wants. The reason for having to knowing your needs and wants is that now you can start doing a budget, knowing exactly what you have to budget for, the things that you need and the things that you want, which aren't really important, that you can live without. And you can make those decisions based on your finances and logic, because in most cases we just use money, and then when you look at your finances and you look at this logically, you're like, yo, but I can't really afford this. I thought I could, but I can't. Then you start making more informed decisions, and then everybody knows their bills. We know our bills, we know how much we're paying rent and all of that. And then variable expenses as well. These are things that we use as well. And then sinking funds, we've established, okay, Christmas, we know Christmas is coming. We've just got to now prepare for it so that it doesn't mess with our budget. And we find ourselves having a difficult January when, we just could have planned better. So now I forgot my plain budget planner in Kanye, because as you can see by the background, I am back in the village. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you what a budget page looks like. This is what, I don't know what's happening outside, these clouds. It's getting a bit gloomy. So this is what the budget planner looks like when it's blank. And then this is what it looks like once the budget has been done. I've already done my December budget. It's for how fast I am. So just to go through these real quick. So I've got a video where I do a budget. So I will link that video so that you can kind of see me doing a budget. So I won't do that in this video. I'll just refer you guys to that video. Bills, we write our bills here. And then variable expenses there. Cash envelopes. In this planner here, I've got dash daily spending. And then debts, savings and sinking funds over here. Yeah, so that is our budget. Now, this is where all the work begins. The work begins with doing a budget, because doing a budget is the easy part, in my view. Or for me, that was the easy part. Now, actually staying on budget, that's the hard part. And that's where my planner really comes into play. That's where my planner has really, really helped me, because it's helped me to build routines. And then those routines, the budget planner really helps me with those routines. So I'm just going to write down the routines that have helped me. So my planner really helps me with routines, because my routine is just consistency. It's just being consistent with your routine. So these are my routines, basically my money routines. So I've got 4 basic routines. These are, okay, I've got 4 routines. These are my daily routines. I've got a daily routine. What am I saying? I've got a daily routine, a weekly routine, a pre-payday routine, and a payday routine. So these routines really help me stay on budget. They are what keep me going. They help me stay on budget. And I'm just going to go through them to show you how I use my planner for my daily routines. So let's do my daily routine first. My videos, no matter how I try to organize them, it just always is a mess. My daily routine, let me go back to July, because that's when before my life started getting, so this is my daily routine, tracking my expenses. When I get home in the evening It's something that I do. If I don't manage in the evening, the following morning, I make sure I write down what I spent money on. Now, I've got a little sheet that I made myself before I go on here. So I've got this sheet here that I made. It's just for my expenses to know what was happening with the printer here. So I just write, on this day, this is what I did. That's what this page does. It really helps me that wherever I am, because I forget a lot. And then I've got there's things that you pay for when you're using, especially when you're using cash. There's things that you pay for where the person doesn't give you a receipt. Like if you buy watermelon from the ladies, or if you buy from farmers, you know, these fresh vegetables from farmers, they won't give you a receipt. Not they won't give you a receipt, but in most cases you just buy and you'll get a receipt. Or you're buying madila from vendors, especially when you're buying from vendors, you don't have a receipt. Sometimes you even go to, like, I buy meat mostly from butchery. Sometimes they're out of till slip and they don't give you a receipt. So for me, this really helps me remember things, because if I swipe the things that I swipe, obviously my statement will help with that, or my banking app will help with that. But mostly that's why I do this on a daily, so that I can remember what I spent money on. And sometimes I can lose a receipt, but if I remember what I did and where I went, what I did, I can always track my expenses. So what I do in my daily planner, as soon as the month begins, let me just show you December, because I just did this one. So I set this up. I haven't put any stickers because I'm a sticker girl. I like my stickers. What happens is, since we get paid once a month, the money that we're going to spend in December is the money that we got paid in November. And then the money you're going to be paid in December is going to be used in January. I hope that makes sense. So what I do is I set up my spread, and then what I do is I count the weeks, because the final week is going to be this week here. So there's 4 weeks. So because you get paid on the 25th, my week starts on the 26th. So now I count here from, in most cases, my first week will be from the 27th or the 28th, depending. So if it's on the 28th, I would say my week 1 would be up to here. So then I would write here cash stuffing, because I'm a cash budgeter. That would be my first week will start on the 28th. And then my second week would start here. My third week would start here. And then my final week would start on the 19th up to the 25th. That's how I do. That's how I start my cash stuffing weeks. That's why I've got here cash stuffing, cash stuffing, cash stuffing. That's how my weeks begin. And this year is when my pay period started on the 25th and ended on the 24th. So that's my daily routine. My daily routine is just tracking my expenses using this if I'm not at home. And then when I do get home, because I would, sit in the car or wherever I am and just jot down quickly so that I don't forget. Right. So that is my daily routine. It really, really helps me. It really helps me because I enjoy this. That's why I use stickers. I try to do something that I enjoy, so that I'm motivated to come to this. Now, basically my daily routine is I track my expenses. So that's my daily routine. Oh, sorry for the shaking. My tripod is acting up. Now comes my weekly routine. Now, my weekly routine is collecting all of this and putting it into... Now, here's week 1. Because I already know my weeks from here. I know that my week 1 is going to be from the 27th to the 3rd. 27th to the 3rd. So these are all of my expenses for that week. So this is my weekly routine now. I'll write down my daily, and my daily expenses. I'm only dealing with my daily expenses because, like I said, from the budget, these are my daily expenses. So I'm only tracking this money here, my daily expenses, but I still use money, maybe savings or whatever, but that will come later. Right now, I'm only dealing with my daily expenses. That's what my check-ins are all about, like what I spent in that week. I do still track my savings and my sinking funds and all of that, but just not on here. That will come a little bit later. So for now, we're dealing with daily expenses, money that we use every day. For me, it's groceries, meat, household, takeaways, miscellaneous, which are like unplanned, unexpected expenses, kindness, paying for parking or whatever. And the kids, if I spend any money on the kids or any unbudgeted expenses that come, even though I do have miscellaneous, any unbudgeted expenses. So that's what I do at the beginning of the week. This is the money that I've planned to use at the beginning of the week. And then at the end of the week, now when I do my check-in, I come and I see how much I've used. And this really helps me with staying on budget, because I will have a groceries budget and I'll budget for 400, but look at how much I ended up using. I end up using 1,200 now. Moving forward, I know that I've overspent. So I'm going to try to not spend, even though the second week I did the same again. I overspent, but I made up for it on the final week. It really does help me to do a weekly routine to just make sure I'm still on track. If I'm not on track, what measures am I taking to fix the fact that I'm not on track? Even though I'm over, now at least I'm aware of what's going on. That for me is the big thing. I am aware of it. I'm not going to run out of money. That's what my weekly my weekly routine is. It's just checking in on my budget to see if I'm still on track. Checking in on my budget. Do I say that? Checking in on my budget. That's my weekly routine. And now comes my pre-payday routine. Now, yes, I forgot to show you the blank one. Yeah, I was going to show you the blank one. This is the blank check-in page. After my check-in, now I've got to go to my pre-payday routine. Now, my pre-payday routine is just basically doing a budget. Now, everybody else will probably do a budget a week before they get paid, but I do my budget at the beginning of the month. Like as you've seen, I've already done my December budget. I'm already planning for what I'm going to do with money in December. So I do my budget at the beginning of the pay period, and then at the end of it, a week before, my pre-payday routine is just going here. I'm just going to go back here, and I think I've got a page here where, yeah, I'm going to go to my August budget just to show you what my pre-payday routine is. So for my pre-payday routine, like this is budgeted. This row here I've budgeted. I will do at the beginning of the month, and then at the end of the month, I will go back here. And if I've made any changes, I was just lazy on this month to write. But for some people, how they use this, they'll write their budgeted amount, and then at the end, after they pay, they'll go back here and say, but this is what I planned to, this is what I actually paid. Yeah, everybody has a way of doing it. I think most people do it like that. Then after the bill comes out, they'll be like, but I ended up spending so much. I don't do it that way. And so when I did my pre-payday routine in August, I had already, I think by the time the money got in, I had already used 40 pula. So what I was going to cash stuff is 560. Let me just do this. And Mozilla, I had planned to pay 1,200, but I ended up not paying anything. This stayed the same. And then sinking funds, I had wanted to put away 2,300, and then challenges 1,460, but I ended up not doing that. That's why doing a pre-payday routine was important for me to see if am I still on track with what I wanted to do. Did anything come up that took money that it wasn't supposed to take? For example, for me on this month, if I was to overspend on groceries in the previous month, for instance, I would say I've got to make up for this because I took money from elsewhere to use for groceries. So now I'm not going to do this anymore because I've already, it's just moving money around and cooking the books, so to speak. Like I'm not a finance person, but it kind of helps when you know what you're doing. You can take money from there, put there, and that sort of thing. That's how important my pre-payday routine is in my planner. So check-in page, that's a weekly. So now comes my payday routine. So my payday routine. Okay, back to my pre-payday routine. So after I've checked in on my budget, now I'm preparing for when money comes in. I do my, this is where this page comes in. This page here, cash planning sheet. This obviously I don't take the bills out of the bank. I don't cash stuff everything here. I don't cash stuff, things like airtime, I don't cash stuff. All of these other ones that I do cash stuff, and then what's hello here, I don't cash stuff. I just transfer the money. This, I just go and pay. So I don't cash stuff anything. So the cash planning sheet helps me prepare for the things that I'm going to be, for the money that I'm going to use cash for. And my cash planning sheet. And then this is what I cash stuffed on this month. Yeah. That's my budget and my cash planning. So then now comes my payday routine. On that day, it doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm in Mahalat Bay, I'm at my Channing at a wedding, I'm where, when payday hits, I don't even, it doesn't really have any impact, because remember, I get paid. Okay, let me go back to my weekly check-in. Now, the beauty of having weekly check-ins for me is that it's like I get paid every week, basically. Back to July. Like on this week, my wallet got stuffed 1,070. So I'm basically getting paid. So by the time payday comes, I'm not really excited about it because I'm almost getting paid every week anyway. So even when payday hits and I'm Komaharape or wherever I am, I'm not as excited because I've been getting paid every week anyway. Whereas before payday comes, it's like you're basically in ICU, you know, you're on your last leg, there's nothing at home, there's no food, there's anything. So the first thing you would think of isn't to pay bills when you're completely broke. The first thing is like what to eat. And then you're making those, silly decisions like I'm going to do takeout. Now that we're paid, I'm doing takeout. I'm not buying groceries, but now, you start thinking differently. So on payday, I just transfer the money into the bill account, and then I whatever cash stuffing money that I cash stuff accordingly. And like those are the routines that really, really keep me going. And this planner helps me with that, because now I know my bills. I've already written down my bills. I know my bills. I'm going to transfer money where I'm supposed to transfer it, pay my bills. No matter where I am, I already know what's going on with my bills. I take this planner where I can, where I don't, I just take a picture so that I don't forget what I'm supposed to pay for. And then I cash stuff when I get back. So that's how my planner really, really helps me when it comes to my routines. Those 4 routines: my daily routine, which is my expense tracking on my spread, and then my weekly routine, which is checking in on my spending for the previous week, and then my pre-payday routine, which is preparing for payday, making sure, if there's any changes that need to be made, I change them. And then payday now is paying bills. Gosh, today my phone is ringing off the hook. Yeah, I don't want these videos to be too long. So that is my video for today. Those are my routines packed up. And if you like this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up. And please comment, like, don't forget to subscribe. And please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.